Is this the way it was on the page?
What the hell? Oh, hey. We met at Door's show.
Alane Uwaique, the writer. I'm Alex Kayce, looking into a murder.
Come on, what is this?
There's a piece of evidence, a manuscript of a novel. You wouldn't know anything about it?
A manuscript? What manuscript? I need to see it.
Rumor had it the manuscript contained the details of the murders. A murder cult was following the story to commit their gruesome acts. Was Uwaique their leader? Had he written it? How far would he go to create a perfect work of art? Or would he be the next victim? Stay here.
No, wait! I need a gun!
No chance. You're gonna get what's coming to you.
I needed his gun and flashlight to protect myself. This was an echo of the books I had written for years. Picking up Casey's gun felt like I was assuming the role of the detective. I had a light now. I needed to get back to the subway station entrance. Shit. With the hour in darkness now, restless shadows blocking the way. Faded out until they didn't. They were trying to stop me. With the gun and flashlight, I could hold back. I could use the light to open the subway entrance now. me. The gates to the platform were closed. I had a ticket. Something about the station platform felt significant. It would work in my writing, but I needed more. Something lingered here. A half-forgotten memory. An echo.
An FBI agent had come here before me on the trail of a murder cult. He'd gone missing, presumed dead. The cult was leaving me clues to follow, connecting the dots from one murder to the next, inviting me to draw an obscene picture on the city map. Caldera Street Station. The name made me think of the exit wound of a bullet.
I had a flash of inspiration. The ghost of my fictional detective. A story thread I could use in my writing. I had a location. The dark place reacted to my story. The way into the tunnels was no longer blocked. The Fed had glimpsed into the maw of darkness. It swallowed him whole. The tracks led into the tunnel. That was my way forward. The blood trail continued deeper into darkness. The city was not real. I was limited to the confines of the dream. The sound of that. Changing a plot element in a scene without being there was impossible.
An FBI agent had...
had to be at the scene, to see and understand it, in order to change it. The scene here had changed. Things clicked into place. The story rang true. I was making progress. The tunnels were a maze. The blood trail led me on. Another place to use in the story. I needed to search the tunnels for further visions. Inspiration for the story that would lead me deeper. I changed the story. And with that, the dark place changed. The federal agent had come here looking for answers. All he found was a fate worse than death.
It's bad luck to be on this case. The cult can get you anywhere with that black magic shit. Let the day shift handle it. What happened, anyway?
Some Fed came looking for the cult, but it was a trap. A satanic blood sacrifice.
Anyone who gets involved with the cult, they're next. I heard their leader is this famous writer, Alana Uwaique. Their unholy motherfucking messiah.
Sounds like a load of bull.
The blood trail disappeared under the rubble. I had a feeling something was waiting there. The plot changes shaped the world around me. Another echo lingered here, a source of inspiration. There was something hidden here. Light would reveal it.
What do you know? Word is, your research can help me, ma'am. What do you know?
There's more than one urban legend about the cult of the word. The murder cult used these tunnels for their ritual sacrifices. They say the cult reenacted the murders in Alane Uwaique's crime books. That Uwaique was even involved somehow, under a false identity, Mr. Scratch, which is, of course, a nickname for the devil himself.
It was disturbing finding myself in the story this way. But I was desperate, and it felt right for the story. A new story thread. I was making my way deeper into the story. I could imagine this murder cult performing their macabre acts beyond the collapsed tunnel. The cultists laid the Kэйsi novel onto the altar with reverence. Their twisted Bible. water was gone. The way forward was open. Someone was humming. Was it worth the risk to go see who? Hello?
Oh. Hey, Alan. You snuck up on me.
Sorry. Have we met?
Memory problems again, huh? Yeah, we've met. Tim Breaker. We've shared notes. Hey, I've made some progress on the map if you want to take a look.
You're making a map.
Trying to. It's hard to map a dream, though. I keep ending up...
Who's this mystery man?
Oh, it wouldn't be much of a mystery if I knew. Well, that's my crazy wall. I'm just trying to make sense of things. Don't judge me.
I'll trade you walls any day.
See you around, Alan.
The memory is fading like a dream. I must hold on to it. I remember an awful beacon in the darkness, a scene of a ritualistic murder site in the subway tunnels. It's the previous draft of my writing. Must be. I've been trying to shape the dark place around me, but so much fades away. Even my memory of the project washed away by dark waves. But some things remain. The darkest, nastiest elements, like the murder site. It's my goal.
The train blocked my way forward, but it was here for a reason. It had a role to play. I had found another compelling location to use. I couldn't add a new element from here. I'd have to go to the scene. Poured the gasoline over the train car. An iron cage that would soon become a coffin.
Come on, ma'am.
This is where the history of the cult gets genuinely disturbing. The cultists tracked down the torchbearers living in the tunnels. They locked the poor folks up in a derailed subway car, doused it in gasoline, and... yeah.
Charming.
It turns into a bit of a ghost story after that. They say the dark smoke from the fire still roams the tunnels searching for new victims to devour.
There are no happy endings in this city.
The story thread felt important. I could use it in one of the scenes I'd found. A sick and twisted story. But it worked. It could not be opened on the side. The subway car had become a burnt husk. I could get through it now. My path was blocked. I had to find a way through. The lights would help me. The echoing hall had a story to tell. I had a new scene to use, a new setting. beginnings into the murder cult's hideout.
The Fed had witnessed something here that made him run scared. Whether the summoning ritual had been a bona fide supernatural event or the mass psychosis of stark raving lunatics, it didn't change the facts. The cult was messing with things no one should mess with.
The ritual was a vital part of the story, the key to reaching the murder site. I had a new beat for the story. Something like a war story, but I had to keep going. Your friends will meet him when you're gone.
Wake.
Alan Wake.
Repeated over and over. The words resonated with meaning. Had I written this? I couldn't hear the dark presence. It was gone. The tunnel was open now. I could get through. I had seen it before. I remembered now. It was always out there, hunting me. Closeness to home. An FBI agent? Who are you?
What is this? Who are you?
She can hear me.
I'm Saga Andерson, FBI. Help me get you.
This is Alane Uэйке. I'm trapped here. The dark place. Under Cauldron Lake.
Mount Cauldron Lake. Who are you?
I'm trying to escape. I'm making progress, but I'm in danger. The dark presence. Help me. Please, help me. I could sense it.
Stepping to the murder site, I'd felt it, hanging in the air. A meaning, the violent emotion of the act, like a cloud of wrath. The dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see, and yet making you aware of it. Something that soaked into this place on a molecular level, overlapping with your meaningless existence. Regression to something you had managed to forget, marking you, taking you for a ride, making you crazier.
The station had changed. I was closer now.
Writer, I write. Writing is the key. Art is the key to find my way out of this place.
Parliament Tower. Our home in New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment? Would I be home? Or was this just an echo of the real thing? Even then, the murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story? Alice's photo equipment. Set to go off when the door opens.
Get out! Leave me alone!
Alice! Alice! Part 1. What was Alice working on?
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. It's easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes. About 6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
It's insane. And there's so much of it. Have you ever heard of the cult of the tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness, possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
The cult. Yes.
If the cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers? How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch.
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake. Scratch looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch could... Okay, Mr. Wake. I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
You don't understand how vital these pages are. Okay. Here. Now, this is all I have. Be careful with them. Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the cult of the tree. A cultist stared at her. She drew her weapon.
Wake just gave us a lot of information. But... The cult of the tree has the clicker Wake told me about. They're a part of all this. It's all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer. Kayce, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Hello, and welcome to Coffee World, located Washington's best coffee-themed amusement park. All of our attractions are...
Yeah, Anderson, I didn't want to say this in front of Wake, but are you sure this is a good idea? Going on your own?
Assuming we believe the page, I need to check this out. We need to find the cult. Anyone we meet here could be a member. And this Scratch guy.
The evil doppelganger? It must be true, or else this guy can't write for shit.
The quality of his writing aside, if this page turns out to be true like the rest have, this could be a breakthrough. We might solve this thing before a backup even arrives.
Yeah, but they're taking their time, so just be careful out there. Meanwhile, I think me and Wake will have a chat. Maybe I can shake something loose.
Okay. But remember what happened with the salt shaker?
Yeah, real funny.
The page placed me in a trailer, somewhere in Watery. I should ask around.